All right, start recording. All right. What we're gonna talk about is buyer presentations, getting ahead of the coming changes. Um, and obviously with the NAR lawsuit, the NAR settlement, there's gonna be some changes out there. You may already be feeling it now, but the way the industry changes are going to affect all agents going forward. And one of the major changes, if you could summarize it, is showing your value, really showing your value as an agent. And we have the perfect solution for you because we've been using this solution for over a decade and it's been working. And it's going to work also for buyer presentations. And let's get into it. Let me silence my phone. Oh, yeah.
And this is new for all of the Realty One group agents out there, team leaders, brokers. We are now a partner and part of the partner program. So we're really excited. We already had hundreds of Realty One people on the platform, which obviously sparked the conversations. But this partnership is brand new, available in the dashboard as well. And I'm sure you guys will start to see and hear a lot more about it. Because we offer something that's very unique from a digital presentation platform. And I think that you guys are going to get a lot out of this over the next year or so with all the different things that we have.
Cool. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to start with introductions. My name is Mark Choi. I am a real estate guy, professional, founder of Highnote, and I was formerly co-founder of Climb Real Estate, a real estate brokerage in the San Francisco Bay Area. We grew Climb to a top 250 brokerage in the US. In just 5 years, we were acquired by Realogy. And then I was also the #2 condo agent in San Francisco. And so we also won a ton of awards for being known and innovative and really strong at sales. All right, Randy, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I run growth over at Highnote. I've been in the real estate prop tech space for about 15 years now. We built a pretty successful transaction management company before transaction management was a big thing. Sold that off to Showing Time. Then from there, went in to partner with the guy that created Lion Desk. We grew that to an extremely successful CRM and sold that to Lone Wolf. And during that time, or during this entire time, I've been working with everyday agents, teams, brokers, franchises, MLSs, associations, and I get in the nitty gritty with all of the agents, so I understand how busy you guys are, and I know that technology can be overwhelming. Therefore, when I look at technology, it needs to be as self-explanatory as possible, and it needs to be easily adopted as well. So Highnote really stood out to me from an easily adoptable tool that could be implemented for anybody's business. And it's just a great tool for anybody who's looking to get more deals and stand out. So super excited to be here today and be with all the Realty One people.
Awesome. So I just want to start off that, hey, I understand your problems. I'm an agent, just like you. I'm actually licensed still. And I got my license in 2006. And in 2010, I started a brokerage. So I've been around the block and know exactly what problems agents face today. This was our brokerage, our initial early days. And that's me hauling around an Airstream trying to get business. So I understand exactly what everyone's going through. And just a little bit of story, we won a lot of listings and a lot of buyers. And again, I was the #2 condo agent in San Francisco. I helped ring the bell for Zillow during their IPO. And we built a top brokerage in the US in a very short amount of time. We were acquired by Realogy. And then we taught hundreds of agents how to win deals. And not just our own agents, but agents around the country with this method. And the method is Highnote. And so we're going to go into a big deep dive about this. but I want to talk about the confusion in the media now and the premise why you need a great presentation today.
Yeah,
Right?
this is a big problem, right? And the media has definitely not helped, and it's nothing but headlines, but you're seeing it already unfold. You're seeing in Facebook groups, you're seeing, major publications presenting information like, realtors aren't getting, or they're getting paid too much. All they do is open doors, right? People are just reading headlines, and this is absolutely terrible for the industry. And it's rather unfortunate that nobody's gotten ahead of it. But at the end of the day, like, this is something now that has become mainstream, and it's going to be your job moving forward to explain what it is that you do in order to get compensated and how you get compensated. Because up until recently, right, you were able to, we all know that commissions have always been negotiable, right? But you're just going to have to go above and beyond at this point to explain how you're paid, the services that you do. And we're going to show you some really simple ways to do this and do it at scale so that you don't have to redo it every single time. And if anybody likes robots and things that kind of work for them, this is definitely for you, right? So buyer's agency and consumer protection, I think, is a big thing. Do you want to go to the next one here, Mark?
Yep.
Make more stuff pop out, right? So first of all, agents don't realize how much, or consumers, I'm sorry, don't realize how much work you guys actually do. And Mark's an agent. I've been working with agents for 12 years, and I'm married to an agent as well. And a lot of times, buyer agency, you actually work more than when getting a listing. There's a lot more that can potentially go into working with a buyer than the other way. And people like somehow just turn away or shy away from that. And I think that it's your job to show them what you do. The other thing that buyer's agency faces is there's no guarantee. I think everybody here, anybody who ever watches this, has driven a buyer around for 6 months, and then all of a sudden they're like, nah, I'm not going to move, right? I mean, months and hours of time that have been wasted with no guarantee in revenue, right? And another thing that you guys are doing is making sure that it's a worthwhile investment for people. So protecting consumers as well. So I think that what a lot of people, and I think what our job is moving forward, is to provide an overabundance amount of value and understanding of what it is that what you do. And this is exactly why today, now more than ever, you need to get ahead of this. You have to have a digital buyer presentation, right? You have to show and sell your value as a buyer's agent if you want to receive top dollar. And I can promise you that a lot of agents out there are not going to do this, which is going to give you a competitive advantage over so many other regular agents that don't take this into consideration and control it. Go ahead, Mark. Because you guys do a lot more than open doors. I was actually talking to another CEO friend of mine, and we were just kind of going through all the different things you guys do as buyer's agents, right? You identify home, you set up the showings and provide feedback. You walk through, you drive out to people's houses, right? You handle contract negotiations, help with financing, right? Or assist, or speed that process up. Make sure that they're getting a quality investment. So you're actually going through a lot of properties before you even show them. You handle the inspections, you handle the paperwork, the property pitfalls. You make sure that the sellers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? And the selling agent. You make sure everything goes smooth, and so much more. But up until recently, you didn't have to necessarily present all of those different things. And quite frankly, if you were to calculate that based upon an hourly rate of something common at like $100 an hour, I bet, depending on the market that you're in, a consumer would end up paying more, especially if they went out and looked at 10 or 15 properties before making an offer, right? So you guys need to level up, and you need to show all of this information, just explaining what you do as a buyer's agent, and also why you are worth top dollar when it comes to this, when you're explaining how you get paid and your commission. You want to go to the next slide?
Give me 1 second here.
Technical difficulties, right?
Sorry.
Don't just provide the value, provide overwhelming value, right? That you're worth every single penny. If you show that to a consumer, they're going to be like, wow, I didn't realize that. I guess it's more than just opening doors because they read some headline somewhere that they don't have to do this stuff. So if a regular person had to do that, you guys all know watching this today, how long that would take them, right? How you're making calls and doing things at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night sometimes in order to accommodate some of these people. So you need to show that.
Now, when we were agents, one thing that we recognized was the value of the presentation. We were nobodies in the industry. We were new, we were rookies. So the one thing that we could control was the quality of our presentation. And if our presentation stood out over other agents, over other brokerages, we were 9 out of 10 times more likely going to win. We were going to overcome our obstacles. We were going to overcome our lack of experience. And we're going to overcome other factors, such as maybe a strong relationship, just by having a great digital presentation. And we're going to show you how. But it's a new and improved smart buyer digital presentation platform. That's what Highnote is. And let's show you more. We mastered this buyer presentation and we made it digital, right? Why do we do digital? Because everyone's going digital. Everything is digital now. If you don't show that you're up with the times and have the latest technology behind you, they're automatically going to assume that you're maybe behind the times and you don't have a leg up. Not only that, your other competitors and agents will be having digital technology in some fashion, form, or fashion. So you need to really demonstrate that you're up on your game, because that's going to translate to other things, such as better selling techniques, better marketing techniques, but also being a better agent using the latest tech. So we leveled up the traditional buyer presentation or listing presentation and techified it with Highnote. And
One of the things that you guys need to understand from a digital presentation standpoint, right? We've made them interactive. So you've all scrolled on Facebook and you've all scrolled on Instagram, and you know how there's pictures, you know how there's links, you know how there's videos, right? In your traditional PDF, you're not having a fully interactive experience, right? You're having a static experience at that looks like a piece of paper or whatever. We've amplified that by being able to incorporate all of that stuff. So when consumers are looking at your presentations, they're able to interact with everything from watch videos to pull up PDFs and documents without having to go to multiple places.
And we did this before the NAR lawsuit way back in the day. And now the rest of the real industry really needs this sort of presentation platform. So all the tips that we provide on how to build great buyer presentations, you can scan here. So I'm going to give you a second to scan, and you're going to download dozens of helpful tips on how to level up your buyer presentation. It also includes a great buyer presentation template, so that you know the sections that you should be having in order to winning more buyer clients. I'm gonna give you a second to scan that, enter your information in, you'll get that email to you. And it's the QR code is right here still. And then here is the buyer presentation template. It's a digital format, interactive. And what does it do? Well, it builds trust. It builds trust into what? That you're a professional, that you are a service professional. And it also highlights everything all in one page. And what does that do? Well, it shows that you provide overwhelming value. And this is evergreen. It can be used over and over again. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like, a guide to buyer representation. It's congratulating them on the process. There's a video here that you can insert. You can insert any video you would like. This is a professionally shot video, but raw, in your car, in front of your desk is also a very good way too. Why they need a real estate advisor, benefits of exclusive buyer rep, value that you provide, the home buying process, agenda. Let's find you a home agenda, right? Because this is, you haven't met them yet. You're sending this before you meet them. And I'm going to explain to you the whole process as we go. But I'm going to go quickly through this. Finding a home, pre-approval process, the local market, making an offer, home inspection, closing on your home, understanding the NAR lawsuit, and understanding what buyer representation is, because according to the lawsuit, if this settlement goes through, you're going to need to be able to, you need to have one of these signed each and every time before working with buyers, and then how agents are compensated, etc. So this is a great template. These are all customizable. Sections can be removed, adjusted for each area, with the platform, it's super simple to do. And why do you do this? Well, you want to stand out. You want to stand out from the other agents. You want to be the one that sends the best one. And you remember, you're in competition with other agents. So you need to show why you are the best buyer agent choice. One great way is to have a better presentation. And what you also need to do now, especially after this NAR lawsuit, is now you need to justify your services more than ever. So before, when they didn't have to pay you, or there wasn't a situation where they're going to pay you, since it was mostly paid by the seller side, you need to explain in greater detail what a buyer agent actually does, right? And it's not very clear. Everyone thinks, a lot of buyers just think you just find homes, and that's the least of what you do. It's about all the other things that we do, like we discussed before. Now, you also want to do this. You want to send something before your in-person meeting. Why? Because you want to lay out the basics. You want to set up the in-person meeting to be super successful. So this is almost like a pre-sale. It's like a pre-sale, like a pre-listing presentation. Before you go on a listing appointment, a great way to win the listing appointment is to send a fabulous presentation beforehand. Why? Because you're going to stand out, look better, and then you're going to make the in-person meeting smooth. All right. What else?
So
And
you guys need to keep in mind as well, right? And just imagine in a traditional situation that maybe a buyer calls two agents, and the first person does what most agents do. They'd be like, okay, great, we'll set up an appointment. I'll see you tomorrow, at 2:00, versus the professional agent that goes above and beyond, that says, great, looking forward to meeting you tomorrow. I'm going to send you over a bunch of information ahead of time, right? I'm going to send you over a presentation ahead of time to kind of walk you through everything for the meeting. What you're doing is you're already getting ahead of that other agent by presenting them with all of these things that more than likely will be objections that you would have walked into right away. And there's another competitive advantage that you're going to have to do that. Like if you go back to the one that Mark just showed, I can almost guarantee that the vast majority of the people who watch this, they do not have an as elaborate one. Now, you might say, hey, this is a ton of stuff. And again, I don't disagree. Are they going to read every single thing? Absolutely not. But the fact that you went above and beyond everybody else and you have everything laid out is almost a guaranteed way, once you show up to that appointment, that you can, outplay your competition.
absolutely. And very often, a great pre-meeting presentation can win the appointment before you even show up. And it happened all the time when we were sending pre-buyer appointment and pre-listing appointment types of presentations. We were already way ahead of the game, and we blew the competition out of the water ahead of time. But this needs to be comprehensive. It needs to be super detailed. Why? Because you're going to be sending this every single time. And when you send it through Highnote, the other beautiful thing is you see what people are reading, and you see what your leads are reading. You see what is being interacted with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate that later on, but I'm going to show you the analytics of how this works. Maybe I'll just do it right now, actually. Well, you know what? Let's just continue on this and we'll get to the demo in a second.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So, again, Highnote was born to do this. We're a great way for agents to win more buyer and sellers by streamlining the whole digital pitching process. And it is a pitching process. It's a sales process that you need to master. And don't forget, we live in a digital first world now, right? You know, even if your clients are older, even if they're 70, 80 years old, they want to know that you're up to date on the latest technologies. And we hear time and time again that the older clients that chose other agents just because they had a better digital experience. All right. One thing I wanted to talk about here, I want to really set the stage here. Like, this buyer presentation thing is a new thing, right? In a way, it's something that we're going to all need to do and all need to master. And it seems like more work, you know what? And it is. And if we want to stay in the business, we have to get motivated, and we have to get motivated to win. To win, why? Because this is the way the industry is changing. This is the way the industry is going. If you are not ready in August or September, by the time these practices start changing, you're going to realize you're going to start losing deals, losing buyers and losing sellers. And you're going to be asking yourself why, right? Don't play catch up. Really get ahead of it now. The summer is a great time to get started on this, to get your presentations all ready and set up to win, so that in the fall, when this is all ready to go, you're going to win. And remember, there is no second place. They don't sit there and say, well, you came in second and you're going to get a portion of the commission. It doesn't work that way, as you know. It's winner take all. So I'm from New York, Randy's from Detroit, and we have this grinding mentality. Like, look, you're up against a lot of competition, and it's really time to step up and go for it. And you need to have the best of everything. You need to be the most professionally trained. You need to have your skills right. You need to have your sales experience, your marketing expertise. You need to also have your presentations down. So you really should go for it. And think about it this way also. Your presentation is a reflection of yourself. So ask yourself, how would you rate your own presentations now? If you send something that's mediocre, that's average, what is that saying about you as a professional? Why would someone want to work with someone if they're delivering average materials or not trying to be the best possible agent for the area, right? So if you have an average digital buyer presentation, what does that say about you as an agent? So let's just step it up, right? And there's no excuse for not having the best presentation. We can understand if you don't have the most sales experience, you can't sort of make that up, but there's no reason why you can't have the best sales presentation. And that 9 out of 10 times, this presentation is what wins the day. You have any comments about that, Randy? Okay. Now, your digital presentations should tell a story. And storytelling is a powerful tool for creating an emotional connection with your buyer or your seller. And each presentation you create should have a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion. And the readers should have a full understanding of this. And the conclusion should be that you are the only person for the job. And all right. And here, let's set up the stage. You have a buyer appointment, right? This should say buyer. So the buyer finds you, right? You have an initial email or phone call, and then you have an in-person meeting, you have a follow-up, and you have a close, right? This is how it works. And it also works for sellers, obviously, too. Now, the appointment is here. And you only have a few touch points with this new lead, right? Where? Well, they see you on a website, they see your profile. What else? The initial email or phone call. That's a second touch point. The third touch point is the in-person one. And then you have following up, right? So why not make the second touch point, right? You're gonna have a great website. You're gonna have a great profile loaded with testimonials. You're gonna have your best profile picture on, wearing your best suit or outfit, right? Well, the initial email or phone call. After you do that, you should send a stunning digital buyer presentation. And again, why? Well, because you're about to meet them and you want to make that in-person meeting successful. So send something great. Then you should also send another one that follows up, especially if you haven't won the deal. If you haven't won the buyer or the seller, send a follow-up. And it should be professional, digital as well. Now, this is called playing to win, right? There's only a limited number of deals out there, only a limited number of buyers, only a limited number of sellers. This is how you play to win. Now, what we learned was that bookending the appointment, right? Bookending the appointment, having something before and something after, with stunning and standout experiences with a thorough explanation was the best way to win and beat our competition. All right. Questions. How many send a pre-buyer presentation digitally explaining everything, right? We were doing this before the NAR settlement. So, and back in the day, we didn't do it all the time because it wasn't so necessary, but now it's going to be necessary. And you're going to need to do this every single time now. Again, scan the QR code to get all the tips on how to do this.
And keep in mind, everyone, like utilizing things like video in those are going to be really, really important to help build credibility, build trust and familiarity with yourself. The other thing that I think is going to be really important is when you guys build these, they're done, right? I want you to keep that in mind. Like the buyer experience, for the most part, once you create this, you can use it over and over and over again. You do not have to recreate the wheel. This operates a little bit differently than how people utilize the Highnote platform for, let's just say, listings, which is very, very unique, right? Because you're doing your job explaining that process. So one thing that people love about it is it's almost like a set it and forget it type of situation where they have or build out these great buyer presentations and they use them all the time. And you can always add to them, right? So if you're like, oh, I want to add this now. Oh, I want to add this, or a new explanation video that legal provided us. You can always add to it and take things away. So these things work time and time and time again. Don't have to print anything, don't have to do anything, text or email it off, and you're good to go.
Right, and we'll do a quick little demo on that as well. And look, we also have a Realty One digital buyer presentation template, all built out, ready to go. We could customize this one for you as well, but it's very similar to the one I just showed you, except branded with Realty One information in it. And yeah, let's see here. So then, okay, great. And we have a service and an offer for you at the end of this to build this out for you, so you have your own buyer presentation ready to go, Realty One group style. Now, this is
important. This is like so important. This is what it traditionally looks like, right? When you send something off to a buyer, what do? You send an email and a bunch of attachments. And if anybody's gotten a big email with a bunch of links and a bunch of attachments, it looks nothing more than a bunch of work. Plus, when you click on attachments, I don't know about you guys, when I click on attachments from my cell phone, like I don't know where they go, and then like it opens and then I'm like, oh, I need to reference that, and it's like, would you like to download again? Like the experience is terrible. Okay, this is what most agents are doing. And again, it's a terrible experience, right? It's kind of like Amazon saying, we don't know if your package showed up. It did. Here's a tracking code. Go check it out. No, they take a picture of it and they send it to your phone. Versus, go to the next slide, please, Mark. No,
this is
terrible,
what the reader sees,
right? It's not going to cut it, right? Versus this, they get a link, an email via text message, and now they can scroll, they can watch videos, they can go through everything without wondering where the heck anything's at, right? The experience is 100 times better for the reader, and it makes you guys look way more professional, and it doesn't look like work. right?
Right.
That's the great thing.
And I shared it in the chat. I shared a link to what your Realty One Group buyer presentation could look like in the chat. So take a look at it. Now, go ahead, Randy.
So the money, like, again, I built my career on building CRM, and, the money is really made in the follow-up, right? But Highnote gives you a superpower, unlike anything that I think that you've ever used or interacted with, that most people will not get, because it's going to feed you back data and analytics. So when somebody gets a Highnote sent to them, your potential prospect, your buyer, you can go to the next slide. You're going to start getting notifications. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, there we go. You'll start getting notifications of who opened what, how many times, how long they're spending on each section. You'll see that people buzzed over one, spent 10 minutes on another, watched your video. And because you're getting these real-time notifications, you're able to almost have this sixth sense where you can then follow up and say, hey, Mr. Buyer, I noticed that you watched the video on buyer agency explained a few times, right? Do you have any specific questions about that? Whereas before, when you would send something out, you didn't know what to follow up on. You're like, hey, did you get it? I haven't heard from you in a couple days. Like, specifically with pinpoint accuracy what is being engaged with, right? From there, that's when you plan your attack from a follow-up perspective and really start to dive into some of the things that they've done. That analytic tool will absolutely make that whole process a heck of a lot less awkward and a lot more natural to have that follow-up. Because remember, if your competition sends something, they're going to have that weird, like, hey, well, what do you want to talk about? Like, did you review this? Or did you review that? No, you already know, right? Which is very, very important here.
Thanks. Now I'm going to say, okay, a lot of us are doing things an old way. They're not maybe having the best presentation, not having the best marketing materials, or not leveling up their skills. And, you have to ask yourself, why are we average? Why am I being average, right? There's a lot of good reasons, good excuses. You don't have time, right? You don't have the tools, you don't have the support, and you don't know how, right? And now you know everything you need to have. And I'm going to show you how to build these types of excellent top presentations quickly. And that's why we're excited about this partnership, because we want to bring this to all of Realty One's agents. And this is their opportunity now. Okay. Now, our attitude was you need to have an above average experience for your lead, either presentation wise or scripts or your experience or having your nice suit or charming them in a way that other agents couldn't, right? And we built Highnote, this new digital sales presentation platform, to make agents better than average. And after I sold Climb, I said, my gosh, the rest of the industry could benefit from this too. Let's build this Highnote for the rest of the real estate industry. And here we are today. And our users are saying that Highnote is a game changer. It's their secret weapon. And we've been written up by so many different media outlets, getting ratings. We have a rare 5-star review from Inman. And we were also finalists for the Innovator Award as well. And we also were invested in by NAR and part of the REACH program last year as well. Bottom line, Highnote wins deals. It streamlines the entire sales pitching process by collecting and delivering everything in a single, beautiful, and trackable digital presentation. You have lots of things to send, just drag and drop and send it into one new digital presentation. Again, we tell you what they're reading. Not only that, but the buyers and the sellers, they love what they see. It stands out, it's different, it's unique, and that's just going to put you ahead of the game. All right. It works with all the latest real estate tech. And there's other use cases as well, winning listings. This agent won a $2 million listing from the Zillow lead using Highnote her first time. She beat 3 other agents, and the feedback was that she sent out the best presentation. And they also could not meet face to face. This was during COVID as well. But she sent out the best presentation, and that's what ultimately led her to win this deal. And then shortly after that, she won a second listing. Their entire brokerage signed up. And that's why we're here with you today, because a lot of Realty One agents are finding similar success. And so that's why Realty One wants to provide this for all the agents here. My business partner, same thing. He would send a presentation, a high note presentation before the meeting to establish credibility, especially for a pre-listing, and then following up, because after the listing appointment, you may not have sealed the deal. There may be questions. You need to follow up on things such as what you think the home would sell for. And using Highnote to do that was a great way to win listings as well. All right, we're gonna do a little quick demo here. We've been talking about how easy it is to do and how easy it is to use. And I just want to show you. This is your dashboard, right? These are all your different presentations that you might have. And you know, I have one here called a guide to buyer representation. And it's simple as this here. We could change the background. You can move different items around, and you could remove sections, hide sections, add new ones. I could hide this one. Your expert real estate advisor is hidden. I could also add new ones as well. Very simple to do. Very simple to build. And then what you do is you just share a link. So it's very easy to share a link. I'm going to share this to Randy here. And I'm just pasting in the chat, Randy. And I want you to open this, take a look at it. And I will demonstrate to you. Tell me when you open it, all right, Randy? Do you see the chat?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So in the analytics section on our platform, what you see is that Randy has opened it one time, right? Now click through some of the sections in there, Randy. And let me refresh this here. Where did you, oh, did you open more sections?
Yeah, a
Open
few.
like, yeah, a few. Okay, got it. So it says is that he's opened multiple sections in here, and so I know exactly what he's looking at, what he's checking out, so that I could follow up at the right time. And also not only that, but about the right information as well. So it's super powerful to understand what the leads are reading. There was one agent that I know of. He was up against another agent for a big listing, a $3 million listing. And he normally sells around $600,000 price range. So he felt out of his league. He sent a presentation with a lot of videos. He loves videos. And then he noticed that the lead was only interacting with the videos. So he said, huh, that's interesting. Great. So let me be prepared to talk about videos and my video capabilities, my video marketing capabilities for listings. And he showed up and he realized that the person works as a video engineer. And so him having that cue, having that insight to understand that this seller and buyer, what they're interested in allows you to choose the right things to talk about and close the deal. Selling is a game of inches. You just need to be a little bit better than the competition. And so you need every little tool and every little advantage on your side. Highnote's a game changer. I don't know what I'm going to do without it. One of the best tools in the industry today. And another way to use Highnote is to send offers with it. Listing agents and sellers are super impressed. You can use the analytics to gauge the interest. And then agents have reported beating higher offers with their Highnote offers just because the presentation is that much better. And these are agents that talk about how great offers are through Highnote as well. Any sales or marketing use case, keeping clients informed, neighborhoods or communities, client retention as well. A lot of agents are talking about how much they love it and all the different applications they can use with it. So what you get with Highnote, digital buyer presentations. You're going to need this very shortly. World-class listing winning tool, property marketing as well, client retention, offer presentation, recruiting, so much more. It's a Swiss Army knife for real estate agents in today's world. Now, let me ask you a question. How much is securing the buyer or seller worth to you, right? Let's say if Highnote can get you just one more buyer or seller, what would you pay? A $500,000 buyer who pays your 2.5%, that's about $10,000 after your split. Two buyers, $20,000, five buyers, $50,000, 10 buyers, $100,000. You get the idea. And how good would it feel to beat out other agents who have to cut their commission because they can't prove their value, right? So the point of the matter is that Highnote, a tool like Highnote is going to help you do such a thing. Now, this is what the value of Highnote is. You can get a Highnote digital buyer presentation package for $750. The value is $750. We customize these for you. We meet with you and customize them for you. The value of this is $750. You get the software, which is the platform on how to modify these presentations. There's a delivery system, tracking notifications. The value is $1,000. Total value is $2,500 for this session. And with Realty One, we're offering it at this price, $708.88. Plus, there's a 10% discount for Realty One. So it's $638 for Highnote, plus the digital buyer presentation, the customization service, and the software for a year. And $638 today. Now, but think about the true value. The number of buyers and sellers you're gonna win per year. Okay. And then how long are you gonna be using a platform such as this? This is gonna win you tens of thousands of dollars. And again, just for $638, your ROI is gonna be huge. Realty One exclusive, $638. And we've been selling this to limited audiences until now. The Realty One users get this special pricing. So $638. And we're gonna show you the key.
Remember that everybody can use this for more than just buyers. Listings, open houses, property marketing, right? The list goes on as far as what it is, right? Some people choose to buy our software by itself, and then some people actually prefer the handoff approach where we build them for you. With that package, you're getting software and us to actually build them for you, so you don't have to worry about it, and you can rinse and repeat and reuse them time and time again.
Not only that, we are guaranteeing that you're going to win deals with Highnote. So if you use these presentations and use Highnote as described, and if it doesn't help you win more buyers and more sellers, we will refund your money. So you get a money back guarantee here, which is incredible. And you also have to ask yourself, what is your time worth? Do you have time to be building these presentations over and over again on your own? No, right? You don't. And so, Caitlin's asking, is there a one-time fee or per year? So to build the presentations, a one-time fee, and then Highnote itself, there's a yearly subscription. It's $359.88 a year to use it, but the fee to build the presentation is a one-time fee. Okay, I hope that's helpful. And so here's the code. So scan for the special pricing. Again, it's $638. You scan this and enter the code ROG007. Again, there's a money back guarantee, right? So if we build these out, you use them and it doesn't work for you, it doesn't help you win more deals, it doesn't help you position yourself better than other agents, we will refund your money. This is a no-lose situation for you. And the only thing that can happen is you're going to earn more money as a real estate agent. All right. Any more questions with this? Wow, there's some purchases already. Fantastic. Keep it coming. But we're available to answer any questions. You could always email us, mark@highnote.io, randy@highnote.io. Don't forget, you're going to get the buyer presentation tips and cheat codes on how to build more buyer presentations. We're going to our next session is going to be about winning listings. How you win listings using this similar method, except the listing presentation templates that we're going to provide are really out of this world. So I'm going to leave this up a little more. Randy, am I missing anything?
That's it. Make sure you use the code. Otherwise, the price will be a lot more. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to do 4 different sessions throughout the year with Realty One, as well as being at the conference. We're going to do one, like Mark said, on the listings. We're going to do one on other ways that you could utilize this from a lead gen perspective. So throughout the year, you're going to see a couple of these where we just come in and say, hey, this is a use case scenario. Again, these are kind of set it and forget it types of things. So once you build them out, they're done and you can just reuse them over and over again. And that's it. We're just
Yeah, and
excited.
the way this
Build
process
for
works
fun.
is once you buy, we schedule a call with you and we help customize your templates so that they are customized to you, have your website, have your video, have your team, have your location. And then they're just ready to go. So that anytime you have a lead, buyer lead, you could send it before meeting them. And then when you have a meeting, you could close the deal, get a buyer, and then work with them. And then you know, stand out above other agents and increase your commissions and your close rate for the year. All right. I'm gonna leave this up a little bit more. Any questions? Any other questions? All right, I'm gonna answer Caitlin's question. So the way this cost is split up is $350, $349 for customization of a presentation, buyer presentation, and then it is $359.88 for a 1-year sub to Highnote. And there we go. I answered it. And oh, I see. Okay, chat was disabled. Oh, how did that happen? Okay. Is there a one-time fee? Okay. And then don't forget the code ROG07 gives you 10% forever for Highnote as well as the customization. Okay. Great, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. We're gonna have another session next time, and that's gonna be about winning listings. All right. Thanks again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.